Alright, let's see what's going on here. We definitely clocked in. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. I go by the name of L'Esprit. I am a spiritual healer. And technically what I do as a spiritual healer is that I help people to become in alignment with the person that they are. And in order for you to do that, you would have to have a basic understanding of the different components, or of your makeup, to make a long story short. And your makeup, pretty much, we're talking about your emotional patterns and blockages, and also as well as your intellectual conditioning, or your mind control, because that's truly what mind control is how your intellect is actually being conditioned. So it's either you're the one doing it or it's being done to you. But most importantly, to keep it short, as a spiritual healer, that's pretty much what I do. So now, if this is your first time, welcome. If you're coming back, get a plate, stop playing. This is a Holy Communion. We got some shit to speak about. So now you already know. So and also too, I like to pretty much give a quick rundown of what spirit or spirituality pretty much is, right? And the reason why, shit, without telling too much of myself, this representation and also the definition of what I'm about to break down is what spirit is all about, right? So, okay, so it's technically, to make a long story short, I talk about spirituality. But a lot of times people, quite often, when they look at spirituality, they're thinking something that is every Sunday. Or there's a sacred, specific sect that actually does it. Or, better yet, it's a belief system. And that is not the case at all. If you check all of those boxes just now, it simply tells me, or it should tell you as well, that's the way you've been conditioned to look at it. So in other words, I'm telling you, the way you've been conditioning to look at spirituality, that's not what it is. What spirituality truly is you, the person that you are. You are spirit. But for you to understand that, you would have to pretty much unravel or have the ability to see beyond the veil of your reality, or of understanding who you are. That's why our purpose, in so many words, is to remember who we are, to have that self-realization. How do you do that? Well, when you understand the mystery of the person that you are, when you look at your emotions, when you're looking at your speech. I'll give you a perfect example. Your body is simply an extension of your consciousness. However you feel is being reflected in that shell. So that shell is just a projection of you. That's how people could see auras, and they can tell you what state of mind that you have, or what kind of sickness you're having. Do you see what I'm saying? There's a direct connection with that. And when you reach a certain state of mind, what you see with the saint that has the hollow and shit like that, that's just a projection or a represent. They always show you like once you reach that higher state of mind. So technically, is that radiance, is that consciousness, the jewels that you are, the spirit that is reflecting itself. And your speech is nothing but me. What I'm talking about here, it's my state of mind. That's why whoever you are criticizing, you are also criticizing yourself through that person. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know somebody who's judging other people, you know exactly what to expect, or how they would treat you or judge you. Without going too deep into that one, technically what I'm saying is whatever you say is reflecting how you're thinking. or your thoughts, not even the way you're thinking, your thoughts or your frequency. You see what I'm saying? That's how you recognize a tree by its fruit. Like, you're not going to be a smart motherfucker talking dumb shit. And vice versa, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Exactly. But anyway, I'm saying all of that to say, as you delving into understanding the different aspect of you, what you're truly realizing is that, oh shit, you are spirit. Then when you look at everything you do is thought driven, it's all mental. So now what's behind that mentality? What is the mind? So you have no other choice now at this point to delve into what we call in voodoo, you delving into the mystère, the mystery. That's what the occult is about. The hidden culture. Now you're getting into the dark side of you. Another way of saying this, which is also what is called your shadow work. That's what your shadow work is all about. And that is also the essence or the premise to the conversation that we're going to be talking about tonight. Which is pretty much telling you that, you know what I'm saying, like trying to explain to you the mystery of when somebody's being in denial. I mean, quite often we judge that person because we're not looking at it from all perspective. Now, granted, if you're looking at it from one perspective, what you see is true. You just don't see the entire truth. Let's just say, you know what I'm saying, when you look at a hater, right? That nigga's stupid. That's facts. You could say that's a person that's not taking accountability. That's fair. So this motherfucker's all of that. But it's also more than that too. You know, because you got to understand, when you understand your humanity is your spirituality, I broke that shit down already. But what I'm trying to tell you is, once you start delving into the underlying reason of our action, just like our mind or my speech is a representation of my mentality, and my mentality is a reflection of the spirit. So we're talking about mind, body, and soul coming together. But what I'm also saying here, if you keep that in mind, so when a hater react that way, there's something in that hater that is reacting. That's why you can't hide your shadow. When someone is being triggered, that is spirituality taking space. That is that person's shadow that is acting, that is materializing, but we don't look at it as something spiritual. So what niggas now are now doing in spirituality, for you to get it, that's when they start to explain to you what shadow work is. Guess what? You are your conscious mind, you are your subconscious mind. In other words, they are educating you. The whole purpose of the occult, is for self-realization. And as a spiritual healer, I'm helping you to have that self-realization. In my case, nigga, you better recognize. You know what I'm saying? Nigga. You ain't got to judge by the size, nigga, but you gonna recognize. You hear me? Do you see what I'm saying? But for you to come to that self-realization, that's when you also have to embrace what is called the science of ignorance. Because people who do not have that self-realization, you are ignorant, meaning you don't know, you're not aware of what's taking place around you. The Bible call it a lost sheep. How the fuck you want to call it? You're basically in the land of the lost, baby. Welcome to the land of the lost. I'm trying to get you, you know what I'm saying, to know where you are, who you are. Once you find out who you are, everything else is fine. You know exactly how to move around here. But most importantly, let's get back to what we were talking about here, because this is very good for you guys to understand. And pretty much, I'm trying to breach the gap. But most importantly, I'm trying to let you guys know that spirituality has to materialize. In fact, it is materializing in front of you. But the way you're looking at it, that's how you're missing the whole picture. Just like, in fact, when was it? Wednesday, I was talking about the masculine and the feminine energy. It's all around you. Now, your interpretation of it, that's when you went left. For instance, when you're looking at a gay couple, that you have a guy that would have to be the tomboy, and then what you call, you know what I'm saying, the feminine, or gay, you know what I'm saying, however the fuck. But you get the point of what I'm saying. One got to be the man, the other one. Now we're talking about same sex. Isn't that crazy? Well, not really. But what's crazy, it should be mind-blowing, because now you should be looking at something that is greater than just sex, than just dick and pussy. I'm showing you how the energies are representing or displaying themselves in this 3D. That's why true spirituality, it can't just be spiritualizing. It has to be materialized. Meaning you can't be just abstract in your mind and saying, fuck this, and it's not being materialized. It doesn't make sense. That's like being a knowledgeable, dumb motherfucker. And that's the difference between someone who has wisdom or someone who's wise and someone who's knowledgeable. You have a lot of information, but you don't know how to put it together. So again, to get back to what I was saying just now, what I'm trying to show you here is depicting how those energies are expressing themselves in front of you, but due to the way you're looking at it, you could say that person is crazy, you could call it their ego. When somebody's being triggered, this is a pain that that person refused to acknowledge, meaning now the person is in denial. That's what you call your stubborn motherfuckers. That's what you call your haters, your losers. Now, granted, it's all of that too. Oh, these niggas are scoring. They're making sure they get everything. So you're not saying anything wrong. All I'm saying to you is there's a bigger picture to it. And that bigger picture is what we're going to talk about. But most importantly, what I'm also displaying is what I've been talking about, which is your humanity is your fucking spirituality. Once you have that realization, that's how now you're becoming the God walking among men. Because the words now has been made flesh. But anyway, I'm on some bullshit. Let's get back to what we were talking about. Because you got to understand, naturally some people, when they feel like certain pain is too great for them, they avoid it. And that's their mistakes. You don't avoid your pain. You embrace your pain. If not, guess what? You're going to be sick. Think about those movies, right? They have certain movies where you'll see, you know what I'm saying, let's just say the actor or the, I don't know, whatever the fuck, the savior, the good guy. Right? Let's just say he got shot. He knows, you know what I'm saying, but yet he's like, he feels the pain, but he knows it's got to be done. Go ahead, do it. Ah! That's how you got to be. Because he understands that he has to deal with that pain. If not, the pain is going to take over you. Then you're going to die. Are you going to master your pain, or your pain is mastering you? So a lot of people, their pain are actually bigger than them. Now that's what you're calling their ego, quote unquote. For lack of better terms, I'm not going to get into the ego. I talk about that shit a lot. So then you're talking about that person's ego. But that ego is nothing but a reflection. I guess I could talk about the ego real quick. Just how the ego truly is protecting that person, but that has to do with the information that they have. If you are conditioned to think everything is a competition, you got to be greedy. So if everything is a competition, you got to be number one. So your ego is not going to allow you to be number two. Then you become in denial. No, that's not my fault. Of course not. A lot of you guys like to talk about taking accountability. Nigga, that's a higher state of mind. So I'm showing you just the action of you taking accountability. It's you growing spiritually. In other words, that's what I mean. Einstein was saying by you can't solve a problem with the same state of mind that created the problem. So what this is really telling you at this point, because you gotta pay attention, baby. It's really showing you consciousness. It's really showing you spirit. Because ultimately, that self-realization, that's what it's all about. But how do you get there? That's when meditation as one of the tools that allow you to have that aha moment. When you're talking about Christ, it's a consciousness, self-realization. That's why the only way for you to be saved, meaning the only way for you to be conscious, the people who are not conscious, they're fucking ignorant. Not your ego, none of that shit. You're just ignorant, motherfucker. And depending how ignorant you are too, your ego could either fuck you up or protecting you. And I'm gonna leave it there. I talk about that shit. Check out my fucking ego recordings. I talk about that shit a lot. But where I wanted to focus with you guys though is understanding when somebody's being in denial. Yes, they're not taking accountability. But for them to take accountability, they would have to get in a higher state of mind. So what I'm showing you now, what I'm really teaching you guys, is really the essence of the science of ignorance. And that's how you go into the darkness to find the light. Because the minute you are, just like I always tell people, if you can't tell me how stupid you used to be, you're still stupid. Because any and everybody who used to be stupid, who grow from one state to another, that's how you could just say you used to be stupid. That's the reason why the wise ones are very humble. Do you get it? That's why I am humble, but I also pop my shit. But for the most part, I do it respectfully. Shit, did I say the most part? All the parts, nigga. Let's not talk about me, because I'm I'm something else. I'm a handful, baby. Let's not go there. Let's keep it let's keep it PG-13. But most importantly, you know, it's also depicting when you're looking at that. So you're looking at somebody. There's a science. That's why when you go see like a shrink, the shrink is helping you, is helping you to do the shadow work. So now, as you can see, or as we talked about, the person that do not, let's just say their pain is too great for them, they have to avoid their pain. And that's why they become in denial. Now, for you, on the other hand, what you do is you acknowledge the pain. You the good guy in the movie, all right? You know what I'm saying? You got shot. You know what I'm saying? You know you had got to put fire on it. You know how the motherfuckers steam it. I don't know whatever the fuck with the hot sword and whatever the fuck they got to do to it. Then you goggled your own mouth because you know that's what you got to do. That's what taking accountability is. So I'm showing you, as you know, even on your regular day-to-day shit, that is your spirituality. The spirit is reflecting, is acting, is live. Oh, we live, baby. The spirit is all around you. But you have not been conditioned to look at it that way. You're looking at it wrong. I don't know why you're looking at it sideways, babe. You're looking at it sideways. I don't even know why. It's right in front of you. Understand this. Quantum physics came out and let you know what you're calling the static objects, objects that do not move. Let's just say a house, a car. These motherfuckers, a big truck, an airplane, they're telling you that shit is nothing but condensed energy. But that's not the way you see it. Even when you look at the movie The Matrix, they're showing you when you're looking at the screen is dot, 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 and all the bullshit. But meanwhile, in that world, you got to learn how to read the Matrix. That is the essence, pretty much, of what sacred geometry is all about. They're telling you the codes are all around you. Another way of saying that the spirit is all around you. Different languages, different ways of talking about the spirit. And this is what your multi-dimensions is all about. Or you are multi-dimensional. Do you see what I'm saying? Because think about it this way too. It is all about you. Now, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, let's just say, hypothetically, because I'll give you a perfect example, right? Me being a Haitian nigga, I'm just going to use this as a fucking example. The Bible means nothing to me. That's not my reality. But if you know the Bible, and that's the only thing you know, right? And of course, I just lied because, you know, I went to Catholic school, so I knew what the Bible was. But what I'm saying is, in general, let's just say, no, nigga, like in fucking China. Their gods are not your God. In other words, your gods means nothing to that person. And their gods means nothing to you. That's why you're so quick to convert them. Oh, this is Satan. This is the true God. Because their gods mean nothing to you. Now, here's what I'm truly saying here. I'm truly saying here, what makes your God God is you. That's what I'm truly saying here. Because let's just say, if I'm from China and your Jesus mean nothing to me, it only means something to you, meaning you validated Christ. not me. So I'm looking at the same thing that you're looking at. This is another way of letting you know, nigga, the only reason the Bible is because of you. There's nothing that's being done without you. That's why even when you think you're being fair, you're being logical, like let's just say, and I always tell this to people, when you really look around, which makes sense, and the Bible also talk about that, you have to acknowledge there's a higher intelligence than us, right? You agree to that, right? A China motherfucker agree to that too. They just have a different perspective of what that is. So their perception of it is what validate their gods. And that's what validate their identity too. That's why your religion is the foundation of your God. And I talk about that too. Come on, check it out. That's why mythology in African spirituality, we teach you mythology. And the purpose of the mythology is for you to be involved in it. It's awaken something in you, making you think, aha, what does that mean? That's true learning. And that's the purpose of learning. It's for you to have that aha moment, meaning increasing your consciousness. You getting to see things a little bit better, meaning your inner vision now is becoming better. And the way you're looking at the outside, everybody who's mature, that's why you don't follow the crowd. Now, you may have different levels of mastery, but the bottom line is there are some common things that you will see. Like they're not going to follow the crowd. Listen, it's all around us. I'm saying there's layers in it. That's why the highest state of consciousness is all about. That's what getting your heart to be as light as a feather, it's all about. It's attaining that higher state of mind where you have transcended. Ain't no good or bad. Ain't no mind or matter. Because now you know the truth. Which is there's no mind, there's no, you know what I'm saying? Mind no matter, it doesn't matter. They're all one. But see, the fact that we have a European foundation of thinking, you know what I'm saying? We don't have, which is a one-side thinking. We have a gang mentality, which is a one-sided view. This is how we see it here. This is what it is. On this side, if you're not this, you know what I'm saying? That's the gang mentality. Either or. Are you Democrat or are you fucking Republican? You gotta choose a side. You gotta make a decision. Make a decision. That's duality. That's separation. And that's the foundation of toxicity. That is the foundation of ignorance. That's why the Indian called this Maya, which means illusion. Not fake. There's a big difference. When you talk about fake, you are insinuating there's an original one. If I'm wearing fake Jordans, that means there's an original Jordans. But when we're talking about illusion, that's like you walking in the middle of the desert and then now you see a fountain of water. You went into it trying to get some more. There's no water. There's no fake here. It's not what you think it is. And that's what science is telling us. When I was talking about the condensed energy, they talking about matter. It's not even matter. Throw it all in the batter. It's not. It doesn't even matter. That's what they're trying to tell you. Guess what? Our ancestors knew all about that. That's why the Kabbalion now is telling you. I mean, not now, but been telling you it's all mental. Meaning your speech is mental, your actions mental, your kids are mental, everything's mental. You see what I'm trying to tell you? So now, I'm trying to get you to see a different side of someone who's a hater. Or, I mean, shit, or somebody who's envious, jealous, and all that shit. Because that's what your hater truly is. Or what a lot of people are calling karmic. Do you see what I'm saying? They have chosen not to see the light. They have chosen not to face their pain. And I'm not blaming them because that shit is hard, motherfucker. Shit. Why would I not have compassion? I've done it. Now, granted, you already know. That's why this is for the living. You feel me? But at the same time, we understand. I understand. And that's what compassion is all about. That's why when you're doing your shadow work, this is going to be very important. It's one thing to have what you're calling a fucking intellectual acknowledgement. That's one thing. It's good, but it's not enough though. And I'm going to explain that to you. That's why you never see a nigga that hated his dad, and then that nigga's doing the same thing the dad was doing. Or a mother that hated her mother. Or she said, I'll never be like her. Fuck that. I got to be this and that. And then ended up doing the same thing, even worse than what she was doing. So they have acknowledged intellectually that they don't want to be like her. But now, that's why this is not enough. Because for you to heal your pain, you got to have a direct experience. Just like the guy in the movie that would goggle his mouth. Yeah, go ahead and do it. Yeah. And then he's going to go to sleep. Motherfucker would wake up. He's good. He's fighting again. Now, this time he's like Neo. He's fighting like millions of motherfuckers. But there's an underlying truth in it. Because a lot of us who grew from our shadow work, that's how you heal the wounded child. In other words, I'm giving you the codes on how to heal your wounded child. You can't do it by just acknowledging you had this pain. That's why you'll see, and I have noticed that, there's a lot of people who would tell you they used to have low self-esteem, but yet they still have a low self-esteem, but they don't know it. They just build a shadow around it because they have identified that only on their intellectual aspect. But they have not dealt with it. They have not had that direct connection or that direct emotional direction. Because when you get emotional with that wounded child, what you're telling them, it's okay. You can no longer have that fear. But it also comes with a fucking understanding too. For you to heal your pain, you got to have a higher understanding. It's going to hurt. That's why you need motherfuckers that are going to be 100% with you. It may not be what you wanted to hear, but damn, this motherfucker keep me in check. I don't know how you guys are moving out here. A lot of you are moving funny. If you surround yourself with fake ass niggas, well, guess what, man? You are avoiding that pain. Your pain is too big for you. You ain't doing nothing wrong, baby. That's where you at with it. It's okay. But for you to get on that other side, for you to heal yourself, though, you know what I'm saying? For you to be healed, oh, baby, you got to face that pain. I know what, if you got to goggle, put anything in your mouth, nigga. Like, you got to have that direct emotion. You got to face your fear. Another way of saying this, I was just being too dramatic. Face your fear, motherfucker. So that means you get to see the bitch ass in you. Like, alright, nigga, you good, man. You ain't no bitch ass. You know what I'm saying? That was just what happened. Now, this is what we're doing now. Healing, you the wounded child, nigga, you not a bitch ass. You telling that nigga, you not a bitch ass nigga, dog. You good. These niggas used to beat up on you. Nigga, you good. Look at you now, baby. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know any better. That's what your movies are showing you. That understanding. Meaning it has to do with that direct emotional connection you're having with it. That's why just when you say you hate your mom and dad, whatever the fuck that situation is, you get to actually do that same shit over because you have not concurred, you have not truly concurred like that emotional side of you. That's why you're faking. There's no way to hide over here, baby. Oh, you can run, but you can't hide, baby. Because, like I said, you tell them the deaf are now, you know what I'm saying, are now hearing. The blind are now seeing. Well, if that's the case, well, let's talk about it then. That's why there's nothing new under the sun. No one is lying when you understand the spirit. That's how you able to see even when somebody's lying, because you could see their fucking energy. I could see your shadow. And we do it too. You know when a nigga's bullshitting, nigga. Like, you may not know what the nigga's talking about or what the bullshit is about. Nigga, fuck out of here. And you dismiss that nigga automatically. Well, that's what the spirit does. That it comes with a state of mind, with your radiance, with your Krishna, your Christ, your state of consciousness. You got to stay on your beauty. So now, again, I'm showing you, even though you're looking at this life as being this mundane life, the day-to-day activity is your spiritual playground. Because guess what? As now you have reached a certain state of mind, your behavior, you're going to materialize that wisdom through your words and your action. That's why you don't want to become spiritual to spiritualize. You want to become spiritual to spiritualize and materialize. Oh, I talk when I'm walking, nigga. Shit, nigga. I'm walking and talking. That's what the game's about. You know what I'm saying? If not, you being left behind, man. But it's okay. Everybody, like they say, everybody's left behind, B. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know what I'm saying, gets put behind. It happens. But how you maneuver, though, when that shit happened to you, well, that's how you bounce back. That's what the state of consciousness is all about. That's how you start to triumph at that point. You become that rising phoenix. Oh, you're doing that thezo. Go get him. Nigga, I'll pay my dues, nigga. The fuck? Earn my stripes. I wear my stripes too, man. Look at them. This is what they did to me. This is where they did it. Look at it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got proof, nigga. I got receipts right here. Come on, man. You gotta face your motherfucking fear, man. But most importantly, listen, baby. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a direct connection to your pain. In other words, you gotta stay open. Because if not, that's when the in denial comes in. And it's gonna be a natural reaction. That's how you could say, yo, I'm living in a fake society. Like, it's like everybody should be real, man. You're living in a fake world. It's like when you meet a real nigga, it's like, wow. And quite frankly, that what you're calling that real nigga is gonna be a nigga that has a sense of self identity. I ain't doing this shit to please you, nigga. I'm just showing you the different layers. The spirit is revealing itself. You've been looking at it wrong, baby. Stop looking at this sideways, man. Look at it straight up for what it is. It's right in front of you. What are you doing? Don't look at it wrong. That's why understanding the science of ignorance plays a big part. It's very important into your growth. That's why a light worker, you gotta also, you know what I'm saying, the day walker is also a night walker. That's what that movie's showing you, man. Then you're going after those fucking vampires, those only night workers, meaning they only come out at night. They're afraid of the light, understanding. You're hitters. Your energy vampires. They putting it to you in different aspects. At the end of the day, they're all talking about the same thing. But the way I'm trying to depict that to you is I'm telling you from a lovable side, meaning, you know what I'm saying, why it's important for you only to have compassion for them too. You know what I'm saying? How can you be mad at a kid who's doing dumb shit? Dumb niggas do dumb shit. That's why I don't talk about dumb niggas. I only talk about dumb niggas to real niggas so they know the light. Not to make dumb niggas smart niggas, but for you, you know what I'm saying, to wake your ass up. That's what we're doing here. And I'm taking you to the dark side for you to understand what the shadow work is all about. Now, it's for you, you have to retract or go into those deep emotions that you have never reflected or you've been avoided. I mean, you've been avoiding, right? Since you've been avoiding those fucking, now, you know what I'm saying, they can't hide. When you're being triggered, that monster came out of you. This is all energy speaking. I'm just trying to help you to see it from a different perspective. Because essentially, what a true master is doing or is telling you is for you to wake up. And that waking up means get to see things for what it is. Self-awareness. So just like when I was telling you about your God is as powerful as you. So just like I was saying, even if you were to admit like there's a higher perspective than us, which is true, nigga, I'm with you. That's why I'm here. In fact, I do. You know what I'm saying? Because I shit, nigga, I fuck with spirit directly too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? We go in and out. And about get the information that we need, trying to, you know, we stay connected. Of course, man. And that's the type of conversation that a lot of you guys would need to sit among the elders for you to have that type of conversation. You got to be graduated from now looking at this life on a whole different perspective. Meaning now you are being born again. Or in voodoo, we call that la vie tête, meaning you washing your head. You're getting rid of that bullshit information that you had. Come on, we niggas, man. All of our language, nigga, we shit. How they call that shit, nigga? We slanging like a motherfucker, man. That's because, understand, slang comes with power and intelligence in it too. It's the way you say certain things. There's knowledge that is packed in it. You got to impact. Now, a lot of us are, you know what I'm saying, you understand what the fucking energy is all about. When you greet another nigga, the nigga say, yo, you already know. Come on now. You already know. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Shit. Like, shout out to Hawk Knock Life, man. I was fucking with this nigga told me. This nigga didn't even say you already know. You already. Already. Nigga just said already. It was too much to say. Oh, that's flavor, baby. It was too much to say you already. A nigga styling, doing her thing. Baby girl, yo, get your shit, nigga. Tuck that shit. Yes, all the way that way, motherfucker. This nigga live while she live. Nigga's wildin'. I love you, baby. But anyway, I'm saying all of that to say, right? You know, as you, it's not how much you see, but it's how you're looking at it. So if you're looking at it from a duality perspective, and that duality perspective means two sides. Original, fate. Earth, heaven. Hell, paradise. It's always either or. Mind or matter. So therefore, now you have your priest, you know what I'm saying, that would not acknowledge sexuality, you know what I'm saying, because the whole purpose is to mummify the body. Because the less the body don't matter, the better you are spiritually. Then the little more advanced of that duality, now it's telling you, fuck Earth, man. But it's the highest level of the bullshit. Because you're talking about duality. You see what I'm saying? Whereas the purpose is polarity. Well, if it is, mind or body doesn't matter. You tell me how light I am, how light my heart is. Is that as light as a feather? You let me know. You be the judge, motherfucker. But again, to get back to the main conversation, or what we were truly talking about, is when you see somebody being in denial, this is an act of their shadow that has taken over them. Because now at that point, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you could call it your ego too, but they are protecting them because their understanding is that they don't want to face the pain. That's where you have your low self esteem. That's where all of that shit comes out of. And low self esteem, to be honest, I get what it means by that. Like, but the reality is, like, you can't really have no low self esteem if the esteem was never the goal. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's why, like, how do you? You know what I'm saying? If you're not following your gifts, you're not following your bliss or whatever the fuck you want to put it, your talent, your whatever your inside is telling you. So can we truly talk about self-esteem? Self-esteem at that point doesn't matter. I mean, it's not even part of the equation because the self was never involved. But as you involve yourself, then now we could talk about the level of, you know what I'm saying? Like in my case, that's why I tell niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like right now, the highest, the more connected I am with my spirit, the highest, you know, my self esteem is getting up there as well. Because now, I mean, shit, I know what I needed to know. Come on, man. You know I got a style on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm styling on you, motherfuckers. I know what I wanted to know, nigga. What I needed to know. Not just what I wanted. You all, you know. So, what I'm also saying, let's take it a step further, though. So, someone who, let's just say their pain is too great, who's avoiding their pain, because that's the foundation of toxicity. When someone is toxic, that's exactly what they do. That's what all y'all. You could go to different nations, different faces. The reaction's gonna be the same, bro. Because we're talking about an aspect of them that they are not acknowledging. But guess what's not happening at the same time? They're not doing shadow work. How can they do shadow work? Because the whole shadow work, it's all about that process of getting into that wounded child, or to acknowledge or to have compassion for your own pain, or even to embrace it, to have that direct connection with it. Because the purpose of the shadow work is to lead you to have that direct emotional connection or experience. That's why you ever like, once you know something, that's it. Once you know, that's it. There's nothing else. That's why mind control only works on people who do not know. You can't unseen what you see, nigga. That's why you don't argue with fools. Because if they see, they see. If they don't know, you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. What is there for me to argue with you about? That's why I choose my battle, you know what I'm saying, wisely. Some people I can't, shit, nigga, you're not even worth me fighting. You gotta give me more. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get me more mad. I want to be mad, like mad for me to come at you because so far it's not working out for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm too fucking happy. So, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? If you somehow bothered by my piece, well, throw more fire, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do more, baby. Do more. But in the process, make sure you're not hurting yourself, though. Because, you know what I'm saying? You might lose yourself. Most likely you will. Just saying. Don't lose yourself. You know what I'm saying? This is way out of your league. But anyway, let's get back to what we were talking about. So now you can see how important it is for you to be open. Now, when you start looking at life on that perspective, understanding those different energies in you and how they could close you off. And once they do, your spiritual development, it's not going to happen. That's why your humanity is your spirituality. Because all those shadow work books are telling you, it's for you to acknowledge this shit. How do you acknowledge it? If you're saying fuck humanity, so the acknowledgement of it means not fuck reality, not fuck humanity. It's like, whoa, okay, we're growing. You're attaining a higher state of consciousness. Are you not? Come on, man, y'all sleeping. I want you to wake up, baby. You're sleeping too much. You're snoring too loud out here, man. Come on. But we have compassion, though. That's what we do. But anyway, so all of that is to say, once you get to see the other side of shit, I'm just giving you my compassion for them. But that comes with an emotional understanding. Like, think about this. That's what Jesus, the whole Jesus shit, when they say, well, okay, I mean, whoever one of you, either one of you guys, who have not sinned, throw the first stone. This nigga was a player. You feel me? He had, he done, you know what I'm saying? This nigga was slick like a motherfucker. He was a smooth criminal. You feel me? And that's exactly what he did. You know what I'm saying? Now, what you're really thinking about it, let's just say, yeah, nigga, I have sinned. But maybe I'm not a hoe, though. I would have loved to see Jesus' reaction. And I could picture it, too. Because that's probably the same thing that I would say. Do you see what I'm saying? But it's worth for me to mention, nigga, really? Whoever's saying, yeah, nigga, I sinned, but I didn't fuck no other nigga shit. Saying, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, get you a fucking argument. But the overall message in what he was saying was for you to get in touch with your emotional side as you're using your mind. Using your mind alone, you become rigid. No emotion. Atrophy. You become a fucking robot. That's why in your development, for you to have a broader perspective, your emotion and your intellect has to come together. But most importantly, you need to have a clear, you know what I'm saying, intellect or state of mind. But it's that's when the emotion comes in too, because the emotion helps you to also have a clearer version. Do you see what I'm saying? It's if you don't see it clearly, you're going to miss the shot, baby. When you're aiming at something, you got to see it clearly. If you don't, you're gonna miss the shot. And that's how you are creating your reality. And this is also how you are, in so many words, elected your God. What I'm trying to tell you is, you validated it. Don't forget about you. Because your God, let's just say, with a nigga that lives in China means nothing. But the point of what I'm trying to say is, of course, it is a different culture. Of course, that is the point. So, meaning your validation of your God comes from your mind conditioning. However, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, whatever your interpretation of what your God is, that's what your life is going to be based on. A nigga who's a fucking atheist, who doesn't believe in God, drink and smoke, do whatever the fuck he wants, whatever the fuck. Saying his God is no God. Now let's just say you, for instance, you know what I'm saying, you shouldn't be having this stuff. Well, guess what? It's going to reflect your understanding of what that God is. You are materializing that in your life. This is the highest, lowest level. I am trying to let you know you are creating your reality. In other words, you are the God. You know what I'm saying? You're not making it to your benefit, but okay. You're still the God. Namaste, nigga. Is it not? In fact, that's why we came here, to help you to see things better. Because we already know you're creating your own reality. You already know. We already see the God in you. So now we're telling you to see it better, deeper. See the underlying shit. And that's what spirituality is doing by helping you to acknowledge who you are. Oh shit, nigga, guess what? You have a conscious mind. Woo. Then you have a subconscious mind. Oh my God. And now you got to do your shadow work. Woo. Incredible. But it's nothing that you're not already that. But we're trying to get you to become conscious on it. That's why to become spiritual, you have to activate your spirit. Your spirituality, you're not going to evolve by being, I don't know, somewhere in the unimaginary world, the real world. There's no time. Nah, your growth is happening here. Within time. With changes. What are we talking about? You're looking at it sideways, baby. This is where you put all that work in. Then when you're calling yourself a black sheep, now you were born in a family that did not have that same mentality as you. Now you become a threat to them and they become a threat to you. It's all fair here. I.e., that's what you're calling your chosen ones. You see, what you're calling the karmics, right? And I get it. Because at this point, what they're doing is, you're giving them a lesson, right? But they're not learning from it. But you're the one learning from it. That's what makes you the chosen ones. But your makeup, the chosen ones come from your makeup. Like, you wouldn't choose any other way. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm a fucking outlaw at whatever the fuck. At the essence of it. That's why I fuck with the wolves, man. Or your goat. That's all part of the what is called the chosen ones. You know you ain't stopping for nothing. You're breaking generational fucking curse. You changing the fucking DNA. So that means your DNA had to be different from those DNAs, though. Well, that's what makes you the chosen one. You know what I'm saying? You came down here fully loaded. You know how to land down here. Like I tell niggas. Because you're jumping. A whole transition. You know, some niggas come retarded. They have to come back again. You know what I'm saying? It's how you land. But the masters who've been here quite often, we know how to land correctly. That's why I personally orchestrated this whole process for me, and it all makes sense. Now it makes sense for me why I understood why I choose my mom and dad, but that decision was already made. But you know, this is my connection with my higher self too. By understanding what was done behind closed doors that I didn't know. That's the unification of the Ba and the Ka. Now you're having a bigger perspective. You Dharma, understanding your type, your zodiac sign, all these things contributing is a contribution or different epithets or attribute to the person that you are. As long as you get there, nigga. But I'm letting you know what I'm saying? This all energies around you. So now, let's get back to now, since we talked about that now, so now you see how important it is for you to actually acknowledge your pain. And that's what people are talking about when they say people need to take more accountability. Yes, but this accountability comes with a state of consciousness. It comes with more understanding. How do we get you to have more understanding? Experiences help you with that. Not so much books, because for a book to help you, you got to help yourself for the book to help you. Meaning, again, as you validated your God, that's why I know for me personally, I could tell you there have been books that I read, let's just say 5 years ago, that I didn't understand. Until I went back and something tells me, go back and check that shit out. And it's like, what the fuck? It was the same grammar, nigga. And guess what? This is going to be scary. It was the same author. Same language. Nothing changed. But you know what changed? I changed. That's the understanding. That's why you don't give a mirror to a blind man. And that's why books is not going to fucking help you. Because until you're ready for the book, I don't give a fuck what kind of AP classes you had, nigga. If that was the case, philosophers would have had all the answers. If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. All those philosophers, all those deep intellectual niggas, none of them even came close to the fucking occult. Or to the fucking occultist. When we're talking about the mystery school in fucking Egypt, listen, my foundation, I was very motivated when I didn't know. But this is the beauty of you going through your journey, because you are pretty much an unpeeling, or what I'm saying, different layers of you for you to get to the true you, right? So I remember for me, I used to, I love philosophy. Philosophy was my shit, nigga. And I came from a home where my dad was shit, nigga. I said, what's up, nigga? Philosophy was my shit. Like Socrates was the nigga I fell in love with. Then as I was doing more research and shit, then I found out those niggas that I really loved, because that's why too, having a European foundation, then philosophy is the beginning, because you start from the Greek knowledge, right? Not the fucking Egyptians, of course not, but the Greeks, which is the foundation for what you'll see. Or today, now you're looking at the European um, state of, I don't know, consciousness, I guess. It is consciousness. Through words, theories, um, logic only, because emotions doesn't play a role. Of course, it all comes down from that duality. But if you were also paying attention, I'm also referring to the illusion. Because the illusion, the big part of the illusion is for you to think there's a separation. So in other words, I'm trying to let you know the very things that you guys are aiming for. Anyway, your perspective is everything. Your perspective is what's fucking you up, nigga. That's exactly what I'm telling you. And that's what ignorance is. And that's why a lot of people are not conscious. They're just ignorant. That's why when it comes to ignorance and reality, nigga, you cannot. It is what it is. You cannot compare it. I always like to tell you niggas, like, having a Haitian background, like, nigga, if you got a billion mango that is fucking unripe, and you have only one ripe mango, those billion mangoes mean nothing. You know why? Because you cannot eat them. They're not edible yet. But the only one that is edible, right? Well, that's quality, motherfucker. That's why it's never been about quantity. That's why when you neglect yourself, you falling yourself. I mean, you cheating yourself. When you're looking for, that's why, here's another, listen, those are also laws. You cannot run a water mill, by adding water to it. So what you're seeing by the water mill going up and down and all that shit, it's not water, nigga. It's electricity. Well, I kept the water going. Now, the water plays a part. Yes, you need the water, but that's not what makes it going. What does that mean? This is very profound, man. This is deep, depending on how you look. Again, how you looking at it, player. So we're saying, and that's the whole interpretation of how the truth will set you free. So if you have not found the truth, like, you know what I'm saying, like, hey, you see what I'm saying? There's no self fulfillment, and that's what I was talking about when we talk about the self. Those are our fucking laws. How do you love? You cannot love or have compassion for somebody else if I don't see myself in you. And seeing myself in you doesn't mean I got to see myself acting like you. But the compassion comes in is that I understand the emotion. It's like me saying, listen, if we're both sinners, nigga, if I didn't get it right, you didn't get it right. Why should I be against you? You didn't get it right, I didn't get it right, nigga. You're not my enemy, dog. But do you understand what I'm saying, though? Because really the reality is that what is bigger is like, yo, get on that side of the frequency. You're looking at it wrong. And that's what the prophet's been trying to tell you. Change your perspective. Know who you are. If they don't want to tell you to change your perspective, know who you are. Come on. Well, who the fuck am I then? Well, guess what? You are the one who creates your reality, knowing who you are. So if you choose to write the script based on Christianity, guess what? That's what your reality is going to be based out of. Every Sunday, that's what you're going to do. It's how you're doing it. It has to do with the way you're looking at them. That's why it's important. You may have to redefine your God, meaning your perspective. Now, if it's going to be more on you, because you also got to look at it this way, right? Other cultures do not believe, let's just say, there's a savior that's going to save them. Only in a European based culture that thinks that way. Well, guess what? The fact that you think that way, you're going to approach life differently. If I don't think there's a God who died for me, you know what I'm saying? I reap as I sow, then it's going to reflect in my life. Do or die, nigga. I know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Do or die, nigga. So, again, I am trying hard to depict, or for you to catch or for you to get to see how important you are in the validation of what you're saying, regardless if you're saying this is greater than you, regardless if you think you're being fair. Because, like I said, the guy who lives in China, fuck you being fair. This is you being fair. This is you saying that to yourself. Now, to that mentality, meaning not under that spell that you are on, not to call it a spell to make it a spell, but to make the point of understanding your intellectual conditioning type of thing. Because as a healer, I want you to become conscious of that. And that's what we were telling you, you know what I'm saying? You know, okay, the creation of your God, that's going to be a creation of your life. Your interpretation of what God is, that's how your house is going to reflect, whether you believe it or not. If you live, let's just say hypothetically, well, not even hypothetically, but I want you to understand this. Let's just say a lot of us. Now, okay, no. We're not even going to go there. Let's just say, if you were raised in a Christian household, well, there's a certain actions. There were a certain tradition, there were a certain act. What I'm trying to tell you to see is not, is the state of mind. It comes with their state of mind. They had decided, that's why the whole conversion is about. Do you accept Jesus Christ as your only and whatever the fuck that they say? So I'm saying this to let you know. Yeah, they sold their soul. A lot of these motherfuckers literally sold their soul. Maybe for appearances, to be more validated in the culture, or not to be seen as whatever the fuck. Third person. They're worshiping idols instead of the true person that they are. And that's truly what you're having. That's what you are truly experiencing down here. That's why when you take a side, you fumble. You drop the ball. You didn't even fumble. You dropped the ball. How do you choose a side in all this bullshit that's taking place? Nigga, what? Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you hate Jerry Springer, nigga? I don't. And I know it's bullshit. Does that make any sense? I don't hate Jerry Springer. Shit. In fact, I enjoy Jerry Springer for what Jerry Springer is. That's mastery. That's self-mastery right there. That's having your heart as light as a feather right there. Because I don't give a fuck. How light do you want it? Like, should I give a fuck a little bit? Should I hate it? But I don't give a fuck at all. How do you want it? How light is that? You let me know. God damn it. Fucking let me know, nigga. How light do you want it? You know what I'm saying? Big up to that nigga Pat. How do you want it? That's my shit too. How do you want it? I'm too cool to catch cold, baby. Way too cool, nigga. Oh shit, what? Shit, you know cool and cold goes hand in hand, nigga. How do I catch a cold? You let me know. Come on, man. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, the knowledge that comes in our slang. That's why I tell niggas, yo, talk your slang, nigga. Talk your slang. First of all, it's your natural state. Secondly, it's impacting. There's a lot of wisdom that is packed in it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the power of poetry. Whether you want to call it rap, whatever the fuck you want to call it, poetry is the art of language. Meaning, it's not what you say; it's how you say it. That's what makes a difference. You step outside, you saw the sun, you felt the connection. You see what I'm saying? Oh, how the fuck you want to depict it? As an artist, that's what they do. That's what the Hootie was doing. The power of the words in sacred text. That's what we do. We put that intelligence in it, the God in it. That's where you got to tap into it. You know what I'm saying, to get it. This shit's being hidden in plain sight, baby. That's the paradox. That's how you know you can't separate You know what I'm saying? The problem is not even necessarily the problem, but the misunderstanding pretty much erects from. It's almost like in that European state of consciousness. If you have a self identity, then that's what they call the ego. Then you're not acceptable. Another thing that they promote is if there's changes, what they call eternal, eternal cannot change. So they don't look at change as being eternal because if anything that changes, it's not eternal. I'm trying to bring to light. I'm digging that shit out of the darkness to bring it to light by letting you know that's what they're looking at. That's the light I'm giving you. Do you see what I'm saying? But also, I'm also showing you too. Now we're gonna get into that. Like, what the fuck does your identity has to do with your ego? I mean, it does have something to do with it, but your identity is not your ego, though. When I'm saying, let's just say I'm cosmic, or even shit, fuck me. Let's just use the Bible for lack of better terms. Jesus said, I am in the Father and the Father is in me. As the Father create whatever the fuck manifests, I am like you are co-creator of God. That's what they're telling you, right? Well, to be a co-creator, it takes identity for you to do that. So having an identity, I know for me personally, when I know that I'm cosmic, and I just told you, nigga, I'm cosmic, is because my individuality is witnessing or has become one with my environment. Oh, nigga, this is God's will. You're looking at it. Because I have identified myself with it, it is what it is. Oh, we're doing God's work, man. Come on, stop playing. You already know that. I'm not telling you anything new. I'm trying to make sure I'm not cheating you. That's what I'm doing. It speaks for itself too. So, where we're going with this at this point, so now you get to see truly the underlining of what you're calling this mundane reality is packed with energy, understanding, and all that shit. It's truly all mental. If you are a hoe or you're a dancer, whatever the fuck, you're in a strip club, nigga, you gotta learn the game. All mental. You see what I'm saying? And that's also another reason too. I always tell people you have to understand your culture code. It's important because as you are looking to align yourself with your true self by you taking independence or becoming independent, or you now saying to yourself, I am the sole, uh, I guess, conditioner, whatever the fuck you trying to say to yourself, right? The sole architect, I'm creating this. But you have to come to terms. That's where you can't avoid your pain, baby. That's when I was talking about in those movies, nigga, like he goggled something in his mouth, like, listen, nigga, do it. Yeah, it's gonna burn. Do it. I don't want to hear it. Because you know it's for your betterment. But a lot of people, for instance, you know what I'm saying, they don't know who they are. It's not for the, you know what I'm saying, you got to reach that certain state of consciousness. So that's why what you're saying, seeing around you, you know what I'm saying, it's also your spirituality, but most importantly, you get to see the different reactions. And in my spirituality for me is to shed light into it, hoping that you'll get to see it for yourself, then for you to bring yourself together, stop playing. Got a plan. Come on, if you come to play, well, nigga, I hope you got your balls with you. Do you see what I'm saying? But that's also the beauty of it. That's also the process of transformation. It's beautiful. But now, having an understanding of what's taking place has to do with how you're looking at it. Because for a lot of us, I'll give you a perfect example. For me too, you know what I'm saying? Especially me, life happened before I was able to catch up to it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's another way of saying we all wake up at different times. That's why toxicity, a motherfucker who's toxic has not awakened up to their toxicity yet. Then you have motherfuckers who have awakened a little bit earlier. That's why, you know what I'm saying, niggas could tell, yo, this is how I used to be toxic. Now I'm no longer that. And if you don't want to be toxic, that's what you need to do. Well, that's your spirit. Yeah, that's your fucking ancestors talking. That's my job as a spiritual healer. That's why these niggas, you know what I'm saying, they solidify this shit. First of all, I wouldn't want to go against them, especially when I'm down here. Doesn't make any sense. They have a better vision. That's why I fuck with my guides. You gotta trust them. You move with faith, right? It has to be. What is it that shit called? A faith without deeds are dead. Yeah, nigga. My faith at that point, I know my interaction with them. You know what I'm saying, with certain things. I know. I mean, I may get a little frustrated, like when I want shit to happen, when I already know this nigga's like, you know what I'm saying? We kind of go through all shit. I mean, but this is still family business, though. I'm not gonna air that shit out. But the part that you wanted to know is that it's totally healthy. You're gonna have that, you know what I'm saying, that confrontation. It ain't no violence, though. It's just confrontation. You know what I'm saying? Because still sharpens still. And you want that too for your growth. And that's why your guides are telling you. When you going left, they tell you niggas right. Now you being obedient to like, damn, nigga said it's right. He doesn't look like right. Shit. I'm not gonna beat against those niggas. Well, that's what the shit is. That's why you gotta move like a blind man reading the scriptures. My nigga. Yeah, that movie fucking with Denzel, the Elijah book. Nigga, that's my shit. Oh, listen, come on now. The shit speaks for itself. That's my story too. We're moving out here in faith, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's where people would never get me too. But it's all good. You don't have to. This is greater than me. So, you know what I'm saying? So you don't mean nothing, motherfucker. You don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? Because not because you don't have no meanings, but it's just if it's beyond me, so what the fuck am I gonna tell you about it? And I'm not gonna cheat myself. Yo, this shit's beautiful, man. It just is. But that's where we at with it, though. Like this is for the elders. Let's get back to Earth. So now we understand, like, that's why nobody never lie to you. People never lies, man. What you're calling somebody lies is you didn't see what they're talking about. That's why you can't really hide. You can only hide yourself behind, like, if you're a fucking elephant and then everybody can see that shit. That's like you being a fucking elephant and you trying to hide behind like a small tree. Nigga, we see that's a fucking elephant. That's why the best thing is for you to be truthful, baby. You got to become that light. I tell them niggas, man, fuck me. I'll become the light. Now, when you see the light, you see me. And when you see me, oh my God. Let me stop. But I don't want to, though. That's your explanation behind Jesus saying, I'm the fucking way, nigga. You don't get to the Father without me. Let me tell you, he's not lying. Because I am that. So again, to get back to your whole, how you create your whole world. But what I was mainly trying to talk about, or maybe, that would be for a different conversation, because it does make sense too. But what we're truly talking about here is that, you are validating, your God. Jesus means nothing without you. At least it doesn't mean anything to me like it is to you. So let's just say you are praying, you are crying, and I don't look at your Jesus the way you're looking at it. Okay, I see you crying. Shit, look at the tears that coming out of that nigga eyes. God damn, that nigga must be really in pain. That's how I would feel. But I'm saying all that to say to you is your validation is everything. You call it Hebrew, Jehovah. It means nothing without you. And I try to use the example of somebody who's not under your influence, your culture. What are you going to say? You're just going to die because they don't know you're Jesus? How do you know that? Nigga, how do you know that? So I'm using the lowest, the lamest. I'm out, nigga. I'm in the pit at this point, nigga. I don't give a fuck. I got my Timbs in. I got my boots on. You know what I'm saying? I'm strapping. But goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. So that's why your purpose is for you to become conscious. Consciousness is your survival down here. Consciousness is what we are aiming for. So when you see a spiritual guru or a master, even is giving you book recommendation, the underlying message here, however the fuck they do it, is that wake up. We want you to realize what you think this is. That's not what it is. Tahuti now gives you the 7 Hermetic principles. You fucking that bitch and all that shit, this nigga comes out in the middle of nowhere. It's all mental. Like, god damn, nigga, who the fuck is you? Come on, you know what I'm saying? It's all mental. Now, can you talk of your God without your God being in your mental? It's all mental. That's why, alright, that's why they use Christianity as a way of enslaving you. Because when you look at Christianity, you're looking at a white God. So the purpose is it's mind control. So meaning, you may walk around and say, fuck white motherfuckers, fuck all these niggas. But your underlying action represents their mentality. That's how so a motherfucker who hates his mom or dad now, you know what I'm saying, gets to act like it. Because at that point, the only thing that they did was to acknowledge that shit intellectually only, but they did not deal with the emotional part of it. Meaning your uncle fucking raped you as a baby girl. Okay. Can you talk about that on? Can you talk about it? That's why motherfuckers who was raped are now coming out to help other motherfuckers like you who've been quiet, you know what I'm saying, to talk your shit, to liberate yourself, to come in touch with your emotion, to acknowledge, to face that pain, or to have a direct relationship with it. And to no longer say, I am refuting that pain, but for going now and forward, I am embracing, accepting the shit. And then now you miraculously start seeing reality differently. I had to be dramatic real quick because I didn't want to keep it too human. I had to put, you know what I'm saying, a little bit that, you know what I'm saying, spirit steroid in it to make it more appealing, more deep. I wanted to make it a little more profound by showing, you know, the disconnection with this mundane world. How do you guys do it? How do you do it? I can't even leave it with you. I'm getting the fuck out. What about you? You staying? Oh my God, I can't wait. Wow. It's okay, but you're gonna wait though. You're gonna wait. You're gonna wait. You're gonna learn today. You're gonna get to see it on a whole different perspective. Oh, that's called growth. It's okay. Stop looking at it sideways, baby. You ain't doing nothing wrong. You're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing great. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so understanding what's taking place on the 3D and how it's being reflected. When you see somebody being triggered, that's their shadow self reacting. Some people, they have an automatic fear. Like when you are afraid of dog, you know what I'm saying? So it's another way of saying, and then, you know what I'm saying, somehow, could be 20 years later, you see another dog, that fear automatically pops in. Because you have not properly acknowledged it, meaning you have not have a proper or mutual understanding. That's what healing your wounded child is all about. Let this nigga know it's okay. Let's face our fear. That's why the Batman is the best representation of that. He was afraid of bats. And as he was getting ready to face his fear, now he called himself the Batman. Come on, niggas. That's what this shit is telling you. But it's all reflecting the life, this life that you're living in. I know you want to be deep. I got you. I got you. You still is. You still is. You still is. You didn't do anything wrong. You still is. You got it. You got it. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, you know what I'm saying? Or essentially, that's why you are spirit, regardless of what you do or what you don't do. It doesn't make a difference. And that's why your spirituality has nothing to do with a belief system. But truly the person that you are, your essence. And now our ancestors, you know what I'm saying, or the wise ones, all they did was giving us clues for us to know that you are more than what you're looking at. And that's your ticket out, meaning you're seeing the truth, you're not stuck. There's no duality going on. There's no war between good and evil. Yeah, because you're falling short if you're looking at it from this way. That's why you can't unseen the truth, man. It's almost like, nigga, like, well, I guess that would probably have to do with the level of that person, right? But if you know somebody's lying to you, dog, does it matter what they say? You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, regardless of what they say, that person is just a lie. That's why if you're not being truthful to yourself, you're always gonna be false to everybody else. The people what you call in low self-esteem who are arguing with people, those are people who are not facing, not only face, not they're not facing who they are. Obviously, that's the most obvious shit. But they have built a motherfucking shell around it to protect them. And that shell, a lot of it, now in the mix of that, you have what you call your ego and all that shit. So now the New Age or your European spirituality now is based their spirituality off of that reality. Because spirituality is actuality, believe it or not. You don't have to believe it. I'm showing it to you. True spirituality is actuality. That's why I was telling you, a wise man, you don't just speak knowledge. That's why they tell you even the wise ones speak less. But they are materializing that knowledge, meaning they are moving with intelligence. What they know and their actions come together. What they know and they're no, and like, there's a union taking place. There's an acknowledgement. There's no denial. So understand when someone, the mystery of being in denial, is just motherfucker like that choose not to see the light. So my compassion for these motherfuckers, listen, it is what it is. It's a compassion, but it's not at the same time. Because they did make their own fucking decision, right? But at the same time, they were not built for it too. That's where my compassion comes in. Because if you're looking at what you're calling like the black sheep, what you're calling your black sheep, right? All of these motherfuckers are pretty much built differently. Those are the niggas, regardless of what. Like I know for me, even when people tell me I couldn't do shit, whatever the fuck, that shit didn't bother me, nigga. You ain't talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was wired differently. It wasn't part of my DNA. I ain't giving up for shit. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, regardless of how hard life is. I'm not gonna bury my integrity. That's not gonna happen. I'd rather die before I lived through that. So I'm saying all of that to make the point of not just reflecting or displaying the state of mind, which is part of what we were talking about in terms of this is truly your spiritual background or battlefield. But I'm also saying this to make the point of trying to create two different perspectives and to show you what the illusion is. Because when we're talking about this world being a fucking illusion, it's like your definition of what beauty is going to change based on your knowledge. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's another way of saying you are creating what you see. But what you see now, what you're creating has to do with the inner knowing, which is the knowledge. That's why any or everybody who are associated to themselves, who are connected to themselves, they're never going to be allowed nobody else. That's why they are able to pretty much follow their bliss and not giving a fuck. So truly, for me, what I came to understand when people are talking about the chosen ones, what they're truly talking about is their DNA, their makeup. What you're calling the black sheep, their makeup is different. It's like you were born in a family where you know you just didn't fit. You see what I'm saying? And because of that, there's certain behavior that you had. Or you may automatically feel like, fuck these motherfuckers. I'm not one of them. I could say that for myself. I knew, like, I'm not shit. Nigga. I'm something God, you know what I'm saying, enjoys. No way. But I'm saying all of that to say not to put anything down, but or anyone down or to show superiority. None of that. It's also it's most importantly is to show is to be humble, but also showing you is like humbly and respectfully that this life that you're living, that you're going through, is your spiritual background or playground, I should say, because your elevation can only come from this world. Now, and your elevation also has to do with how you're looking at this world. How are you looking at it? That's what makes it's not what you see, man. It's how you're looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing. Now, with that being said, we're gonna leave it there. Haitien, bravo, my